Welcome back to the Spodek Arena for live coverage of ESL One Katowice 2019. Is this our final game of the day? Don't know, actually. It could be. That depends on Ninjas in Pyjamas getting their act together in game number 2, just as much as they did in game number 1. Or can OG dig deep, find some decent form, and pull it back to 1-1? That's the question we'll pose to our panel right now as we rejoin them. It's Capitalist, Nahaz, and Kyle alongside me. Kyle, not really out of the realms of possibilities that OG can come back. They've done it before.
Why asking me?
Well, because, you know, Alan, he's kind of like the oracle at this particular panel today, isn't he?
Yeah.
I will give you 2 numbers. One is that second pick Radiant are now 16-6 on the tournament as NIP get their 5th straight over OG. And the other is, I feel like we didn't necessarily mention it. I got to give a big shout out to Ace. In the 2 biggest fights of that game, the 13-minute fight that Purge talked about and the 25-minute fight that I talked about, he hit 3-man chronos in both those fights. He caught Lifestealer and Monkey King in both of them. In the first one, he also got the Oracle, and then the second one, he also got the Darkseer for all 3 OG cores. He was just absolutely huge in that game.
Yeah, see, that was way better than what I was going to say, and it only took like 45 seconds.
So was it yes or no?
I
Can
think,
OG do it?
I think they can do it, but not like that. No, you know what? No.
No, they can't?
Well, here's the thing, right? Again, have OG shown us that they can win with Plan B?
You know, I was
Hell
reading
yeah.
something about how if you get asked a question you don't want to answer, you just ask another question
Absolutely.
in response.
Yeah, it's a politician's trick.
Yeah.
Yeah. The real question is...
Oh, yeah.
What I really appreciate about that is that Alan came out pessimistic about OG.
Yes.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think
Kyle, you've infected Alan a little bit more.
He does the team dirty.
Yeah.
I like
You've
it.
made him a little bit more cynical. And I like it.
I mean, it's kind of necessary.
Is it?
Alan's an eternal
He's
optimist.
far,
I'm a pretty
far
positive
too, yeah, he's
guy,
far too optimistic.
It's so annoying, actually. He just wakes up and he's like, "Gosh, I'm so excited to watch Dota." It's just like, man, I got a headache. Like, relax, man.
Draft 2.
I'm just kidding. I love Dota 2.
Bans underway right now. An Ember ban for NIP.
Oh, what do you know?
There you go.
Yeah, they banned the Ember instead, so OG go Prophet, as you probably would expect, knowing OG. This is the way they like to draft. They have their set boxed openers, first picks. They don't deviate from them.
Yeah, they get a hell of a lot of value out of their 5 position. They're opening their 5 like 80% of the time in these drafts. They will run the offlane Prophet, but this is more than likely going to be no-tail support.
Yep, usually is. Chen and the Ench have been prioritized by OG before that, hence they were banned out by Ninjas in Pyjamas.
And Fogged is happy.
Of course.
Yeah, somewhere Fault is cheering.
Do you just go straight for the Juggernaut here now?
What are your thoughts on
I
this
think
jug,
you
by
need
the
to
way,
pick it or
Kyle?
ban it. That's the other hero I think you can go.
I just don't like it. I mean, I guess it's the same concern. The problem, and why I actually like what PPD is doing with this Lich, which is kind of fallen out of the meta, is that he recognizes OG almost always like to play these high physical damage, dual core setups, right? And if they're not running that, it's usually with a mag or an invoker and they have a hyper carry. Lich just shuts it down. You throw Frost Armor on the target troll goes for
minus 60% attack damage.
Yes.
Yay.
And yeah. Throw a medallion on him, you know, like
the hero's still good, guys.
Yeah.
You know, Sinister Gaze, low level, what was it? Low level Sinister Gaze duration. I mean, that's not the hero.
Go back to what we said in the first series of the day, Alan. When you're up against it, bring out your big
best
guns,
stuff.
right? Well, if there's a big gun that OG have, it's this troll, ILTW, who's 3 out of 3 at this tournament. Whenever they've picked it and they've been up against the wall, they've gone back to it. They've done it again.
I tell you what, though, you pulled out probably your biggest gun in that last game in the Thompson Monkey King, and NIP looked absolutely ready for it. The big question is, I think NIP will leave it on the table into phase 2.
Because they're not worried about it.
I think so too. I also
do you still go back to it?
Troll's different from MK. MK is not the win condition. Troll is the win condition, and I think that it's more likely, especially looking at the support duo of NIP. There's no real catch there. Invoker looks real pretty in this sort of style, especially when you have a Furion as well, because you combo the whatever way you play Invoker. Okay, could be Sunstrike, could still be Quas Wex. Either way, you combine high mobility or global with another hero that provides super up-tempo pushing power along with more
and he can
global
help
AoE
Invoker.
damage.
He can help Invoker pressure that tower if Invoker ends up dominating the lanes. Again, these heroes like Nature's Prophet and Chen, I know this is a point that Kyle likes to make a lot, but the way that they're able to tilt the balance in the lanes from a very early time, the way that they're able to deny these lane swaps that we saw being so impactful at the last minor and major, it's so impressive what they're able to contribute from so early on. I like that mag ban. Again, we mentioned the 10 game win streak that OG has on that hero, going 2 patches back.
I just like Cap's just not providing insight. He's just waiting for another zinger. He's recognized that there's no use trying to.
I'm just settling into the groove of you two talking.
Yeah.
I'm
See, there
okay
you
with
go.
it.
That's what I'm talking about.
I'm okay with it. Do you ban OD? If you're OG.
Nah.
You wait until
I don't think
5th ban if you feel like it's a threat.
Odie's not as big of a problem when you have the troll. It's
Really?
Wait, isn't
I
OD
think-
good because of the
I
fact
think
that
OD
it's good
matches
versus
up pretty
troll?
well with
it
troll.
goes both ways. The BKB timing's everything, but troll can lock you down through your BKB. And in addition,
Fair
his
enough.
chance pre-BKB is really annoying for OD to deal with. You also just pop ult and hit him. So even if you get bursted down by the hammer.
Okay, of
Probably
all
still
the
survive.
bans so far, I feel like it's this Timbersaw ban that should tell us something.
No, it's just a annoyance for Furion and Troll.
Yeah.
You just can't kill him with these heroes.
Okay.
I think it's really important when you have this Furion support, and in some ways Troll too, that you don't have a hero that just doesn't care about this harassment that Furion provides, right? Because he doesn't give you a whole lot of teamfight potential support. So you really need to make sure you win your lanes.
I was going to say that I thought the Timbersaw ban might make it more likely that we see a Furion core, but I'm with you on that point as well, Cap.
It's not bad here because the supports have a hard time hunting you down, and
Exactly.
Core Prophet can just body this duo of NIP. They need a lot of levels to come online. It'll be cool, interesting to see what NIP does on the turn here. I feel like
Okay, there's the answer. So we haven't seen the Jerax hero yet. Again, OG have been saving that Jerax pick for 5th in a lot of these drafts, and they're going to take out the Earth Spirit. I like that quite a bit.
ooh, you bat here or Pugna. Okay,
I liked Brew.
Brew.
Is there
Yeah,
on there as
you had a
well?
lot of options.
I tell you what, here's why you didn't need to ban OD, right?
Oh.
Because you're going to take it away with the Pugna.
Yeah. I really like Pugna ET as well. I think whenever you have the Elder
I
Titan,
agree.
you want to have some hero that can utilize the Spirit's magical resistance reduction. Pugna's perfect with that. You also apply some of your own. And the way magical reduction scales, I believe it's multiple or additive. So the more you have, the better. So if you have just
Yeah,
Aether
baby.
Lens Dagon, yeah, I mean that's the perfect
Such
pick.
a great adjustment.
You've got 3 heroes from NIP that can't stop dealing damage. It's a dream for any Nyx. You're just walking in Carapace.
I was just, I'm so glad that
And-
they did that because they'd been saving the Jerax hero to the end of the draft, but when you have that Nyx available that has been just shooting up everybody's charts in this tournament and is such a great pick right here.
The question is, do you just pick Invoker anyway?
Man, I wish OG would pick Pango.
Okay. Well, you see the name of the game when it comes to OG.
Well,
They're bringing Balto and his friends.
I tell you what, you got to hear it now. If they try to go double Midas, they lose towers. They hemorrhage towers.
In this game, NIP don't have that free Aegis taker either. Their draft is a lot slower once again, but you still have a ton of team fight potential. You said Ace had dropped 3-man Chronos in both of the deciding team fights in game 1. I think he'll have to have a similar performance here. And OG, I think if they play their cards right, they could be at a position. Lycan is scary, especially when you combo
Yes.
it with the Furion. You might hit a point, and the Troll as well actually, 12 to 15 minutes, you will kill tier 3 and Rax in 20 seconds or so.
And that's why I honestly
It's crazy.
wonder, you really have very little to chase Furion into the trees this game, aside from the Chronosphere itself. And you gotta wonder if they just go full push here and pick a support with their last pick. I mean, it leaves you vulnerable to the team fight.
I really like a Slardar last pick for NIP.
Oh, I'm down. I'm
Because
super down.
It's one of my favorite heroes against Lycan, because stun him and all of his creeps along with the Prophet. You said not much to chase Furion. Well, if a Slardar is on his tail,
that solves that
there's
issue
nothing you can
completely.
do. Yeah. It also handles the Roche problem that they have at the moment.
I don't like playing Slardar against Troll.
I don't either.
Laning phase matchup, because I think they're going to like in mid in that situation.
Yeah, let's talk about what the lanes are going to look like for OG, because we do have a Troll and a Lycan on board. You think this is safe lane Troll mid Lycan?
Probably. Well,
is Legion
not sure
good?
actually, because just
for NIP,
I'm pretty sure ILTW is going to play the Lycan actually. Thompson would play the Troll.
You're thinking support Prophet and Legion for OG?
No, I'm talking about Legion for NIP.
Okay.
Because I know it can deal with Troll, Lycan, and Furion, like the support harassment of Furion, and then those two cores
I
or
much
lockdown.
I much prefer even like the reason I came around on the Ursa pick is it's low cooldown. I don't like picking a cooldown dependent offlaner along with the Void, because now trying to take those fights is real tricky. And if you overcommit or undercommit your spells, like you just can't find anything. That's why I like Slardar. Just run in.
I didn't like Tidehunter for like a similar reason.
Exactly.
Right? It was just like too long cooldown when you already have Chronosphere.
And I just like that formula in the last game where 33 was able to be the frontliner and attract so much attention on that Ursa.
Yeah, it made a lot of sense. It's not, I remember watching DC do that all the time, way back TI6 times. Like, I remember like Slark Void at times, and you're just like, oh, this feels gross. But in that specific game, I think the way they played and itemized, it made a lot of sense. Void doesn't want to be your primary initiator. You want, it didn't even necessarily need some sort of blink stun, but you just want to have somebody just creating chaos for you so you're free to get those big chronos off.
All right. So here's where we find out whether this Prophet's going to be core or support.
I think it's no tails hero, man.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards support at this point, and this is a set pick.
Yeah, I'm trying to. Dude,
this is a
tree
sick Bango game, man.
Treant Protector.
This is
folks.
a sick Bango game.
I'm actually, I am with you.
Bango.
I've been waiting all tournament.
Why can't they pick Bango?
Because that's a really complicated hero, and off lane like Seb's primary shot caller for this squad. You can't play hard heroes and shot call. It's just not possible.
Oh, it is going to be core Prophet.
And of course, because I said that, I'm wrong.
I just had a feeling from the Timbersaw ban that that's where they were looking.
I really like the fact that they have Bane against ET and Void.
Yes.
I really like what Puppy was doing with that hero.
I agree. It's quite nice here. Really good against Pugna too, because you actually have Pugna dies in like 2 or 3 seconds of a grip. It's such a low HP hero.
All right, so let's go get our 33 here.
Legion's worse. Ursa's worse as a result.
I still like Slardar. You just could go a lot of different directions.
Now you saying you don't like Tide?
Night Stalker.
Night Stalker's good. Night Stalker's good.
Get that
what about
vision advantage?
you saying you don't like Tide here?
No,
I think it's just too slow when you already have Void.
When you already avoid, fair enough.
Yeah, you can't bat because Nyx. You don't really want to puck because Nyx.
You can't Lesh because of Nyx.
Yeah.
That Nyx kills so many heroes that
What about?
Let's go back to Slardar.
What
Let's
about?
go back to Slardar.
Well, I was going to say Slardar's the obvious one.
Oh,
What about Bristle?
I don't know.
That's what you're going to say, Paul. We know. I see your notes.
I mean, it doesn't offer you any control against the Lycan.
Yes, but he can
But-
plant his fatness on the structure.
Look, no, it's the same model that they were following last game. That they want 33 to be this frontliner to attract that attention, to be the one that you have to go on. But again,
they wanted.
You have Chrono and.
I would have preferred them to go for more like vision control and catch. They opted for just the maximum amount of thickness. In addition, Crimson Guard. You needed a buyer for it. Theoretically,
especially against core Prophet, core Lycan.
Exactly. You have, and Troll too. You have 3 cores on the side of OG that Crimson Guard just obliterates. In addition, obviously, it functions on towers.
And there's no way that you're going to stop it from him from getting that like 20-ish minutes this game.
It's not a stun necessarily, but it provides more minus armor. It synergizes with the ET. It does help with Roshan in that regard, and it's a chaos creator. You just go in, suck up the pressure. All of a sudden, there's a void. Pugna lands spells. Lich Ult comes in. ET. I really like what NIP's doing. They just seem to have OG's number.
All right, well, it all seems to make sense to Kyle. Does it make sense in the game, though? Let's find out as we head into game number 2.
Ninjas in Pajamas versus OG. Game 2 just about to start as we get ourselves ready for this one. And Fog, please tell me, this game, surely it can't be as bad as Game 1 for OG. It's got to be closer at least.
It definitely should be. So this game, they actually have a way to punish. They have ways to push buildings. They have ways to take objectives. That last game, like we were mentioning, they had this armlet into Desolator Lifestealer because he had to try to make up for the fact that they can't hit buildings. They can't actually take structures very quickly. Now, they've got Lycan, they've got Troll, and they also switched. That's the key thing is too. I think when they started seeing that NIP was going for this like void with like the slowness, they switched the NP to that core. So they can put the pressure on. Summons with Lycan and with Troll, use that how you can really knock down objectives and look to put the gun on. And that's what I think NIP also looks. And they're like, okay, we're gonna pick something similar to last time. We're gonna pick this Bristle that just shows up to every single time you're setting up for a push and park his face there. Now, the one thing that can come into favor, or come into as a factor, is that Nyx Assassin has a built-in break. When Nyx does hit 6, your Vendetta does break for 4 seconds. So that could be something we have to watch out for versus that Bristleback of the Bristleback.
And we'll see how good of a game Ace is going to have this time on the board, because it sort of was said already. Surely he can't get away with the Midas Battle Fury this time round. The pressure's going to be a little easier for OG to execute against any sort of greedier builds that NIP might try for.
Yeah, and they should be able to actually put more pressure on him in the laning phase. Now they have an NP with a Nyx Assassin, they're going to be able to actually hit him and make it matter. Before it was a Darkseer without a melee hero. It was a Darkseer with an Oracle, so they can't actually put the gun onto this Void at all to slow him down. As it will be Saksa, looking to secure that top rune if he can, but won't be able to both of them.
Oh, Vada actually coming in with the early movement towards bottom as they are going to look towards No-Tail. The Frost Shield slowing him down with the Quill Spray stacking up. 33 finds first blood onto the No-Tail Bane.
So they're actually going to just be switching it a bit here, putting the Bristle in the mid lane and putting the Pugna actually to pressure the bottom, and now a switch is also coming out from OG, so they want to get the proper matchups. They don't want the Lycan versus the Bristleback.
The question is, are we going to see NIP then move again to continue to try and force matchups that they want?
They already are. Look at that, Pugna's already making the move over. 33 is just clearing the creep wave really quickly. He's got Mango, so if he wants to just TP down bottom, he will be able to do so.
I mean, that's the thing, right? If he's sort of committed with this, what, 4 Mangoes, well, he's popped one of them, but he's still got 4, another one coming out, ready to go.
One. He's actually just going to walk, save his TP.
He has to be using them aggressively. He wants to go against that Lycan top. They get the Astral onto Seb.
He refreshed the Spirit too, so he keeps the damage.
Couple more hits should do it. Ace jumps forward with the Time Walk, able to block him off and get another kill already for NIP in this first minute of gameplay.
Nicely done there by Saksa. That's the one thing, your Nature's Prophet, you can put pressure onto the Void, but you have to watch out. When the creep wave comes in and the Astral Spirit comes out, then you're even just adding more damage to this ET. And Saksa again, plus 78 damage, just gonna give it to Seb. Couple hits, 3, 4 right clicks.
The stun onto Saksa. Nice little body blocks as well. Using the treants to try and allow Seb to get those extra hits in, but Saksa's able to still walk away. This bottom lane, 33 and PPD have big potential to be aggressive, especially with the level 2 being hit now. He's got a point in the nasal goo. So sort of that build, combined with the Frost Shield and obviously the Blast, it's a scary lane for these two. You can see why OG tried to dodge this so many times. They can very easily die down here to the dives.
It puts so much more pressure onto the lane when you go for this goo build that I've been seeing now. As mid, nice thing about the Troll when you're versus Pugna, Pugna still can give you tons of harassment, because the one thing Troll does not really like to play against still is lots of heavy magic damage, is that you will have your Whirling Axes to secure last hits when you do get decrept. However, Fada will be able to find actually an Arcane Rune in that top rune, which will be pretty painful for Topson.
We have to get those blasts going even easier.
Yep.
This bottom lane, we can see NIP starting to now play behind the tower, being in position to manipulate the creep wave, and at the same time with the Frost Shield, threaten the lives of the two of them. So RTW and No-Tail really have to be so careful how close they get. No-Tail already very low on this Bane. He does at least have a stick. They can help him out a little bit. He's going to come forward again, try and poke towards the two of them.
Whenever they have Howl available, they step up. You see that because they've got the extra armor as well as that attack speed and regen, so they can actually start to trade some hits as No-Tail.
Oh, they'll get the kill. I mean, they've got to be so careful down there. I think they might have been a little baited there because I think 33 was actually out of Mangoes and that was actually PPD.
I believe
giving
it was.
Him.
Yeah.
So they obviously checked 33's eventually. They're like, hey, he doesn't have a Mango, but PPD did.
Yeah.
So a bit of a misread there from No-Tail, staying too close to the Bristle.
Still a very strong lane coming out. This Bristle Lich can put so much pressure. ILTW, he's still farming though. He's having to spend a lot of money on the regen, but it's okay because you're Lycan. You can go for that Hedress build, and it's not bad because you're going for Dominator anyway. So it gives you that sustain. Doesn't have the Feral Impulse build though. He's gone for the Wolves and the Howl for them to actually contest rather than him having any of that regen. Just wants to be able to help out his support to actually be able to try to zone out those heroes. That's bottom again, Notel. Getting some boost stacks on him. He's got the Howl, so he's a little bit tankier.
But is he going to be tanky enough? He's already used his stick charges. As looks like he will be able to get away underneath the trees. 33 not quite able to continue to dive for him. As of course, you know, it is worth remembering that with this pressure that NIP's putting on, it is costing them a lot of mangoes. You know, 33 and PPD being quite a bit of mana regeneration to be able to be as aggressive as they are. And they're now back in a position where 33 is out of mana, and him or PPD without any mangoes left to pop.
Yep. We see mid lane. Thompson's actually doing a little bit better in the last hits. He's had to spend a lot more money on regen though in comparison to Fada, so his net worth is actually a bit lower than that of the Pugna.
Saxo did just deny himself to the creep camp, go for the quick trip back to base.
Not the quickest.
Not the quickest, yeah, rather than going towards the tower. But obviously a little bit safer than risking the chance of OG having a look into his death as bottom lane.
He has to sleep him. Too much pressure going on to LTW. Does have 7 stick charges, now 5 on Notel as well. I mean, this is the dream for stick charges.
Sleep. But as you say, he has got the stick to rely on, Notel. And 33 knows that. Won't overstep the mark and get too close to him. He's going to get another goo out. PPD now TP's in, Frost Shield.
He refilled the bottle.
Slow. They are going to bottle him up a little bit. 33's got another Quill Spray ready to pop, and that'll do it. There's another kill for NIP down bottom. They look towards RTW as well.
Oh, the bounties.
33, with that 1 point in the Bristle back, it's keeping him safe from these walls for now. Is it enough damage from the walls? He's got the charge. He'll be fine. He'll be able to bottle charge. The wolves will die as NIP just continue to get the kills with this aggression on the bottom lane. Mid lane, Thompson.
That was super clutch by PPD refilling the bottle there for him. Thompson getting aggressive onto Fada. He will have to decrypt though, just disengage. Yeah, that was a really good play down bottom. Just that little bottle play, literally saving 33 and getting himself that kill, and being able to set him up to get those 2 bounties. So 3 bounties the way of NIP as they are leading right now 4-0, but you do see...
Look at the CS.
Yeah, top lane is putting a decent amount of pressure onto the Void this time around with that Nature's Prophet plus Nyx.
Seth, 26 and 15 on the last hits and denies. He's been able to, as you say, take a fair bit away from the Void.
Yeah, got punished the one time for stepping up a little bit too far versus the ET, but...
Snow's out. I'll let a few of the stacks build up, but of course be able to sit back and use the sleep defensively, making sure that 33 can't dive any further.
Saxo just had plus 160 damage, walked in, gave him a little bit of a beating, but the Howl comes out now. They're looking to put a little bit of pressure on the top. Will wear off. It's a nice thing about watching Lycan is just how this Howl works now. I mean, of course, it's always been global, but it's just different the way it works now in comparison to what it was before. Rather than giving damage, it gives 3 different components.
Mid-lane Thompson, again, diving the tower. He's tanking the tower hits. He's trying his best to nuke down Fada with the throwing axes. Does get the root up. Fada, 1 more hit will do it, and he will get the kill. Thompson now turns towards Ace. Ace will keep the distance. So to be a little careful how he pokes. Thompson now tanking the tower. Ace should be able to time walk forward and get the killer response. Thompson again with the axes there. The mischance means Ace can't quite finish him off yet, as he'll still continue to play around with him, Thompson. Spirit's going to be thrown out as he will surely finally die. Extra TPs are coming in. He's creating a lot of a distraction as there's the final Decrepit Fire Blast to eventually finish Thompson off, who stays alive long enough for Fada to respawn and actually get the kill himself.
I mean, that space created. He forced a Void TP and ET TP. Now the top lane is abandoned. They have to just walk their way back up there for NIP. And Ace actually looks like he's just going to be staying mid, and they're going to be maybe moving Fada. He doesn't have boots just yet, though, on the Pugna, so a little bit risky. He does want to do so.
And Ace this game, still deciding on the itemization. Did already get at least a Wraith ban, so it's not going to be sort of the same naked Midas as we saw in the first game. In fact, yeah, 2 Wraith bans, realizing that his efforts are going to be needed a little bit earlier this game.
Yeah, much more contested, like we were mentioning. It's not versus that free Dark Seer.
The river, Fada tries to go for the opening onto Seb, but Seb's got backup. Thompson and Jerax are waiting there as a trap. Will be able to turn around and get the kill onto the Pugna.
Back-to-back deaths for Fada there. Very costly for him. He's playing versus a Nyx assassin too, so all those deaths, they're very painful, because then it just makes it even easier for the Nyx to kill you later on. Is bottom.
Bottom 33. The three of them going for him. They have the stun. Nature's Wrath coming in as well. Frost Shield, will it be enough to keep him safe? It will. He's able to walk away for now. 33 still alive. Notel does not have any further nukes to throw out at him. Brain Sap already used, and 33 will be able to get away with the help of PPD.
Thompson's getting himself a haste rune. He might want to make a play down here, PPD.
Let's see what he can find. Salve being popped by 33. Notel's got the stick charges. Notel's got to keep himself away from these quills, but he won't be able to. He'll fall, but they'll get the bigger trade, OG, as they find 33. Seb TP's in to block off PPD. PPD gone as well. As Thompson, he's not even done yet. Diving for more, looking towards Saxa behind the tower. They'll get the root off. OG are beginning to strike back and strike hard. It's with that double kill. They'll even the kills, 6-6, 1K lead. I mean, look at the CS, the 3 cores of OG, and this bottom lane as well in particular. ILTW, despite being in the lane where they were giving up kills, they are getting pretty much perfect CS on OG.
Yeah. This lineup is all just about the pressure. The last one, they wanted it to be about the pressure, but they had no objective taking. This one makes it so much easier. They've got 3 different elements to be able to do so. And even with this itemization, they've got the drum on the Nature's Prophet, and now Seb's like, I can just go back for the Midas myself. We actually have a very comfortable position in this game.
They absolutely, this time around, OG can be the team to get away with those Midas pickups. And as we can see, you have Ace, he knows, he's got the treads queued up. He has to do something a lot sooner this game. This isn't a Midas Battle Fury game for Ace.
Yeah, I think Seb can be the one that goes for the Midas. The other ones, like, I don't think they really want to. Like, Book is just, Lycan does not want a Midas. Like, Book and Dominator are just way too valuable on the hero. Troll Warlord, yeah, he doesn't want one either. He's gonna just be going for the Vlads, just going for the Auras for his team so they can just group up, get those objectives, and just deathball. Don't let NIP stall the game for this Void.
Nope, absolutely no. As NIP, they'll give Sax a bit of space in the mid lane. They need to try and find that 6. This is when NIP themselves can really start to react to the plays, because there is that Void Elder Titan combo. One of the strongest in the game if you get the perfect angle. The Chronosphere into the Earth Splitter, it's an incredible amount of damage that doesn't rely on you. It doesn't need you to have any items. You can just go straight for the play with these 2 spells if you can find the opening to get that Chronosphere off.
And even the Lich, the Chain Frost too. That's why it's one of those combinations that has a very high win rate, because it's a lot of damage that you can just throw in there with no items, as you're talking about. And they will now be getting the level 6s on a couple heroes. I see all 4 supports right now in the game are level 5. So last game, OG did get their 6s a little bit earlier. Now we will start seeing those 6s tick up as the tomes will be getting delivered from the couriers. So we see 33, just of course going for all these tanky items. And he's just going to park himself pretty much in front of wherever a big push or any type of push is coming out from the side of OG.
Going to see if they can maybe go for Ace here. With the 5 of them down here, Ace time walks forward, but Thompson's there ready and waiting. Notel's got the control with the grip. As OG make the move as 5, and already it's just night and day for them compared to when they were attempting these sort of moves in game 1. This time round, the draft, it just does a much better job of playing the way that OG want to against NIP.
It's not really that. It's not crazy cooldown reliant. Like the last game, they were pretty cooldown reliant on the side of OG. They had the Oracle, which has like 100-second cooldown at level 1, Coddle with like 100+ second cooldown as well. Now their Fiend Script and their Lycan ulti are a bit long cooldown, I guess. Like, but that's about it. Like the other ones are not really those like team fight ones. They can just keep running at the side of NIP and making these plays happen and putting the pressure onto them and forcing reactions.
Absolutely. The tier 2 tower down bottom being pressured by RTW. Ace is going to come forward.
But look at this. Look at this Lycan. He's knocking on tier 2 with. And look at the way NIP is playing. They can't actually do anything about it just yet.
They won't even be able to get the deny. ILTW is able to get the final touch on it, and already OG, they're setting up for kills as well. The break hit onto PPD with the Brain Sap and the Nature's Wrath. PPD gets obliterated.
And with the global aspect, that's another thing we didn't even talk about. It's like they've got the Vendetta with the Wrath of Nature. So, I mean, this gives us free pickings for Jerax to go around the map looking for any of these type of like squishy supports. Even the Pugna, Fada, only level 8 in this game. And he has no items. He's just got brown boots with 2 nulls because of what's been happening. And look, 12 minutes.
Yes, there's a 5K lead, and OG, they're even thinking about pressure in the high ground at 12 minutes.
33 is still very tanky, though, with that Buckler and Vanguard. So he's parking himself in front of the push.
They do have the Chrono. They don't... well, they've got 6 on Saxa, but he hasn't got the point yet into the Splitter.
Yeah, he went for the 3. I think he has 3-2-1 right now. Yeah.
Yes, he does. So, yeah, no ult from him available if they do go for a Chrono. I think at the best they are just hoping that sort of OG sort of pull off a little bit and don't go as hard as they are, so there is time for Ace to at least get sort of his first item after the treads and the Wraith Bands that he stacked up. Jerax already looking for another opportunity as he finds out PPD. The combo there from the Centaur, controlled by the Hammer the Dominator, stuns him down. Frost Shield there by PPD, some safety, but ILTW with the ults ready to chase him down. PPD will get taken out by the Lycan, and they'll lose the Nyx Assassin for it. So 1-for-1 trade there between the teams. But even trades, of course, just going to keep OG in the driver's seat. Seb has got that Midas finished and on its way out, and already on top of that, 1,200 gold.
And every time they have these ultis up, they match each other's cooldowns, right? 60-second cooldown on NP ult, 70-second cooldown on Vendetta. Jerax is just going to keep looking to make those plays.
I mean, so if you're NIP at this point, you sort of realize that the OG's momentum, it's building up against you. What is the plan? You look at Ace, he has 1,500. What is he thinking about itemizing for? He's queuing up the Battle Fury. I don't know if he gets away with this one, Giannis.
He wants it. You can understand why he wants it versus the Lycan.
Sure, it's
and he wants it to get to the late game. But yeah, they're going to be struggling. I mean, this is OG's timing where they're going to get this Roshan. They're going to look to just end the game.
And they're getting kill after kill. They'll be able to find the Elder Titan out of it. Decrepify does come out with a Frost Shield. It gives a little bit of an opportunity for Saxon to walk away, but the Sleep's there to cancel the Stomp. They are struggling to kill him off, though, and they have the vision to drag in the Nyx Assassin with the Sinister Gaze. They'll turn the Decrepify, they'll pop the Chronosphere down. Ace has the control to allow him to kill off the Bane. The Earthsplitter comes down as well onto Jerax. Double kill for Fada. NIP looking to get back in a position where they can put OG back in their place. They get the 2 kills and also a buyback from No-Tail that will not end in OG being able to do anything instantly in return.
But it's an absolute instant buyback, which tells me they might want to look just to knock on high ground, because now Void ult is down and ET is ult.
Look at this aggressive TP from Zep. He just comes in right in front of 33. Saxon will be there on the side to hold him back with an Echo Stomp. They'll turn with a blast. But OG just continuing to play ever so aggressively. 15 minutes, Thompson again pushing up to the high ground. He's falling very low. He's relying on that Aegis. See how much damage you can get down with the first life. It's not going to be a lot. With the Crimson Guard, 33 doesn't take much damage at all from the drop. They've killed him once. Let's see if they can set it for a second time. Thompson will be decrepified. He's able to back up with No-Tail, Seb, ILTW, Jerax, the full squad by his side.
They're just trying to stall, buy time, have 4 heroes positioned in the base for NIP so that you can let Ace just try to farm and get the item that he wants to get so they can stall. Take it to the late game. That's the only way NIP can take this game.
Oh, Thompson will find Ace. Ace did jump forward into this. He has the time dilation to just keep Thompson far enough away to allow Ace to get another time walk off.
No-Tail's still smoked. He's hunting as well.
If they can find him, because he's probably going to go for TP out with the time walk into the trees, he should be pretty impossible to get. Indeed, Ace will manage to escape the 2 of them trying to find him down bottom.
Make sure he does it in the safest possible way. So yeah, NIP just has to hope for these type of situations where they get multi-hero Chronospheres with the ET ulti, because like you said, they still have high damage they can throw into, both from that Chain Frost and from ET.
And we sort of saw already that the fact that they have got 33 with the ability to just rush that Crimson Guard, it is going to do a lot in terms of slowing down OG's squad. The Crimson Guard makes those pushes that little bit harder. If they, in an ideal world, OG were getting the tier 3 tower at least before Crimson Guard was online, but now it's a whole lot harder for OG to push.
Yeah, definitely. It's like, sure, you can use the Lycan 3, the book, to dispel it off of heroes, but you can't take it off of buildings. So that Crimson block will always be really obnoxious whenever they try to go for that. So
OG, sort of their best bet is to look for the easier targets still. Tier 2 tower at the top, still ready for the taking, and Seb is beginning to push the wave around. The time is certainly being bought for NIP. They're slowing down that initial jump forward in speed and momentum that OG got going. Ace, 2,700 gold, still holding on to it. He's yet to invest in any parts of the Battle Fury, so could definitely still be considering other alternatives. But the temptation, as you say, has to be there. If they feel that they can get away with the Battle Fury, they'll certainly commit for it on the Void.
Yeah, definitely. And the big thing is, too, they killed the Aegis very, very quickly after OG had picked it up, so now they're feeling a little bit more comfortable to come outside, but constantly it's OG pushing in the side, just pushing in the waves. It makes sense with their lineup, right? Just with the Nature's Prophet, with the Nyx, they're threatening the map so much. So it makes it really hard for NIP to really defend these towers, because 33 is the only one who really feels safe to do so. If Fada shows up on a tower, he's dead, if he doesn't have the majority of his team backing him up. So they're sitting as 4 and just letting Ace play completely alone, and he did pick up the Demon Edge now.
He's committed.
He's committed.
I think it's fair to do so. I think he's sort of realizing that at this point, with Tier 2 Tower still top, Ace is likely to at least have the Battle Fury before OG once again trying to push up to Tier 3s. At this pace, he should be fine to get away with it. then of course the question comes into play is, are NIP going to be able to hold off long enough for him to farm that first major item after the Battle Fury? That's when you can truly tell if it paid off.
And it's not like they're not farming is the thing too. It's not like OG's like super rushing the issue. No, you see Troll. Troll's farming some Ancients, getting them even stacked up a bit too to farm more. Lycan's farming the enemy Ancients too, so they're taking as much of the farm off the map from NIP as possible. And as we said before, like Seb went for the Midas, so he's all right with this. He's like, this is great for me. I itemized for this. I didn't go for some type of like mech or some just super timing push on the NP. Sure, I have a buckler, but I have my own way of making sure that I stay relevant and staying farmed inside of this game. So you see that gold lead, it's increasing at a faster rate for OG, and same thing with that experience. Even though NIP is stalling, OG is farming way more of the map since they're just way safer because of this advantage they've pressed.
We'll see at what point they do decide to push again. I mean, it could just be a case of waiting for the extra auras, RTW, to get an AC done. I'm sure he's only 1,300 into it, but at this speed and the fact that they know that NIP are also themselves trying to slow the game down a little bit, they should be more than safe to farm up the Assault Cuirass on the Lycan before trying to pressure the high ground once again.
Jarix wanted to try something there with that Spike Carapace, but all of NIP are positioned behind. They just got hit by that Wrath of Nature, so they're going to know wards there. Sentry's placed down instantly, and it gets killed right away.
And once again, creep wave up top. Hits the tier 2. Thompson will push on. The rest of OG heading up there. 33 is actually going to come in and look to defend it. They do RTW with the ult, and the army just gets on top of him as 33 has to be a little careful now.
They're just splitting up the map. They know that NIP doesn't want to be splitting up. They want to be traveling as 4 with the Void split up elsewhere.
He's having to use the Chronosphere defensively. He has to pop the Chrono, get out of there, will be able to do so. But that is the Chronosphere down, so now OG can push with the knowledge that there's not that huge AoE setup that allowed NIP to sort of win the previous fights. He's got the Battle Fury complete, but this rocky time for NIP certainly isn't over. The setup, Spike Carapace on top of the blast. Crimson Guard does come through though, and NIP will be able to force him back. They got the pull with a Sinister Gaze, and Jarix will pay for his attempt there, and it looks like so will No Tail as they'll get on top of him. OG try and poke. A little bit of a weak one with just the 2 supports there on the front. It instantly gets shut down by NIP's presence there as they were ready to react.
Little over-aggressive. He was pinging him for quite a while too, just trying to make the plays over and over on Tafada, but NIP, they're all right, I mean, it's right outside their base. They're all gonna be right there. But that gold lead is still, it's just continuing to rise faster and faster for OG. It's the same thing with the experience.
It certainly is, but they're struggling to sort of take it to the next step at this point, OG.
They're about playing with Aegis though. They're going to be going for that Aegis and then looking for the breach. And they should, in theory, be able to get majority of those Roshan fights in their favor because they just have that map advantage. They've gotten all of the outer towers and they still have all of theirs. So they just got that extreme map control that should allow them to keep getting those Roshans and keep putting the pressure onto NIP.
Jarix trying to hunt, but good warding from NIP will get them top tier information on Jarix's position.
But there's a book 3, so
They can start to clean up the map and get that vision advantage on OG's side.
Just keep suffocating them. Yeah, look at all those wards destroyed this game. 8 total so far from OG with this, I mean, crazy amount of map control they have. Like we said, all outer towers taken and their towers have kind of not been touched too much. I guess bottom is near dead, but the middle one and top one are quite healthy.
So 10K, 11K, it's hovering around OG's lead.
It's still increasing so fast though. About 5 minutes ago or 6 minutes ago, it was a 5,000 net worth lead. Now we're all the way up at that 11K, and it's been NIP getting a couple kills during that time. So OG just making better use of the map and just having more of the map. Oh. 107 games since TI8, NIP has only taken 0 towers at the 22 mark just 6 times, so that's a rare occurrence.
I mean, they themselves obviously don't really, it's only the Pugna that can really take towers. And
it's way too scary when you fell behind in the laning phase and you're versus a Nyx Assassin to try to do any of that, so.
Yeah, so much sort of catch and hunt potential for OG around the map for NIP to sort of just blindly push out at the moment. As most of the times you see these movements, you'll see them do it as a group. So 4 members of NIP actually over in OG's jungle at the moment, as they'll set up for the push onto the tier 1 tower as the 4 of them. They're pushing in, they're allowing the Pugner to sit back, hold the fort.
TPs are coming in. OG.
See if Jarex can set
They
things
wanna
up.
fight.
Saxa gets the stomp off though before Jarex pops the spike carapace. He'll buy time for 33 to TP out in front of the lane. Saxa gets in the trees. Jarex goes for the blind stun, but will be just off the mark. And the TP out already successful. Saxa will honor him with a tip.
They forced a reaction from OG and they get themselves a tower, so nice little move. They even get a deep ward down too, so it gets a little more information of the map for NIP. And OG immediately, they start drawing lines. They want to start making plays.
They are a little split up. They don't quite have Jarex with them. He's heading over to join them. Fada trying to lead in onto Nota.
We'll be okay. And OG, they are getting close to that item that you were talking about, that AC near finished for that Lycan. And Roche is going to be spawning probably around the same time that he gets it, about a minute 40 seconds left on it.
I mean, that's got to be the plan for OG. Get the AC, get Roche, and then try again to see if you're then able to break the high ground.
I think Aegis, Cheese, and a BKB on the Troll would probably be
How close
the
is
ideal.
the...
He's still a bit far away, but
Okay.
he absolutely needs it anyway, just to deal with the Pugna in particular.
Nature's Wrath comes out. We'll alert that NIP are being watched by OG. As No Town holds back the Bristle with a sleep ace. He sees an opportunity. As he'll just pop the Chrono Earthsplitter as well, actually, for this kill onto Jarex. They get the Nyx Assassin, but that is two of the big ults gone.
They're not going to have them
Around
for
the
Roche.
point, yeah, the Roche is ready. I mean, I guess you
Not
sort
up
of...
just yet, but
I mean, it's been a slow-paced game, so I guess NIP, if they feel they see an opportunity like that, they won't hesitate to take a kill. And it's only 10 to 12 at 24 minutes in. So I guess just confident that the Chronosphere is going to be back up by the time they feel pressure to fight again.
they might just feel like fighting into that Roche is just extremely difficult anyway still, with the items that they have versus what OG
I think that,
has.
as you said, they
I
may
mean,
just let this go to OG. And
Yeah. I mean, they have the ET, who's, you know, ET and Chrono are the kings of teamfight, but...
Seb?
Did he steal something with that? I'm trying to see if he TP and took
Did he
it.
try and get something? I don't know. He had a lot of money on him as well when he died. He had a 4K gold, so he would have lost a bit of it there. As he's going to go for the...
Yeah, he TP'd literally into their, like deep into their fountain.
Was it a misclick?
Did I miss something?
I mean, he's not picked up anything.
I don't see. I didn't see if he was trying to steal something. If they had a gem or something. Like,
Seb? Yeah.
can we replay? I
I
wasn't
don't know,
looking
man.
actually.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a shame. Oh, well, it's okay.
A bit of a question mark there on that one. Can only imagine maybe a TP clicked on the map and by accident rather than clicking down somewhere else in the game.
Maybe something because his teammates are tipping him, and even
They can give him
Jarex
some
said, "How
tips,
did this
yeah.
happen?" So you know.
Oh, yeah, a bit of a question mark there.
That'll give a
he's
little
got
bit of
pause.
a little bit
Maybe
of
he'll
time
blame the
window.
keyboard or something. I don't know.
Maybe so. I'm not too sure.
No, I don't think Seb's sure either. That's why we do have a pause here, I'd imagine. We'll see what's going on. You see Thompson sort of looking at him quizzically as well, saying, "What, Seb? What's going on here?" So hopefully whatever issue it is, we will be able to sort nice and quickly. As yeah, not quite sure what the problem is here.
They're gonna get all the timings at the same time though as they bring this down. So that BKB will be able to come out for the troll at the same time as they get Aegis and Cheese if they are able to. And Chrono's still down for about 35 seconds or so. Splitter's gonna be up in Splitter will be up in time for it though.
It's true. I mean,
Try to
even just sort of the ET without the Chrono, as you say, can still cause a bit of a nuisance for trying to start the race, just throwing the Spirit in with
It's
the stomp.
frustrating, yeah.
You're probably going to be able to slow them down long enough to sort of get the Chrono back.
And 33 might just run over there, but
Actually,
see if they do now.
They take it so quickly though, OG. With the Troll on the front, Thompson already bringing Roche down to half of its life. NIP are heading over, getting some sentries down to deward the vision, but they won't get themselves anywhere near the pit before it's gone, as OG will take Roshan, they'll take the Aegis, and they'll take themselves the Cheese.
Yeah, no Chrono, not wanting to try to make some crazy fight without that. Even if they do have this very farm Bristleback who can park himself in the front, he's starting to fall behind a little bit in farm. And he is playing versus that break mechanic of the Nyx Assassin.
I mean, yeah, you just look at sort of the three cores of OG at the moment compared to NIP, and OG's cores miles ahead, especially Seb.
Oh, he's queued up an AC as well, but they already have one. He'll probably notice and change it before he actually does start buying the pieces on the Nature's Prophet. NIP still playing, like we were saying, they're playing just four heroes hugging each other with the Void, kind of farming in the areas. Thompson steps a bit far. He doesn't have the Aegis. He has a BKB and a Manta.
Seb was the one to grab the Aegis. He'll try and send the Nullifier out onto the Pugner. There's the charge forward from ILTW with the ult, trying to get on top. Ace will turn actually with the Chrono onto the two of them, but the Fiend Script comes down from No-Tail. They have the control onto the Void. Thompson turns towards him. Seb will fall the once. They've lost Ace on the Void. Ace down for 50 seconds after the Chronosphere was not enough for NIP to take the fight. PPD focused by Thompson with the Battle Trance as he's ready for more. Gets himself in front of 33. 33's out of mana. He's trying to run up to the high ground, but Seb's already there nullifying the Pugner. As 3 dead, a buyback will come out from Fada. 33 continues to retreat. Will be able to get away. Another buyback comes out as they need it as OG now taking the tier 3 tower. Frost Shield laid down as well as the fortification to try and hold them off as NIP using these buybacks in an attempt to stop OG from taking these objectives, but the tier 3 is gone. OG ready to look for more. The stun won't quite catch on to Fada. 33 still on the front. The Decrepify out onto Seb. Seb getting pulled back by the Sinister Gaze, but the Glimmer Cape will allow him to walk away. PPD forced back, nearly dying as Thompson did get on top of him. The turnaround with the stomp attempted, but it won't come out in time as they can't hold them down, but they will push OG back. Cost them 2 buybacks, but they keep the racks alive in the middle lane.
But that gold advantage just continues to grow higher and higher for OG. And it's not like this game, you look and it's like, yeah, there's a Void. And in the last game, they had more ways of scaling. They had a tricorner. This one, it's really just a Void who scales into that late game. Sure, he's got the ET who can throw the spells into it, but even if this gets to late game, if he's too far behind, he's not going to be able to carry this by himself. And right now, he is way too far behind to do so. So yeah, NIP needs some big team fights. Just like last time we were saying, you know, there has to be some miracle for OG. It's starting to seem like that for NIP.
And now Seb, he has also got a BKB coming out as well, so...
Yes. Massive. I mean, almost 19,000.
On mid lane. LTW ready with the ult. They're going to look towards 33. Will be decrepified for safety for now. Seb's there with the wraparound. Nullifiers out down on the ET. They'll pop the Chain Frost out, but Seb pops the BKB. Will be able to bring down Saxon. Saxon does have buyback. He's going to use it straight away. PPD's dead. 70 seconds without buyback on the Lich. As they'll have to try and hold 4v5. The Thompson BKB about to wear off. And they'll lead onto him, slowing him with the Decrepify. He backed off. He's still got a little timing left with the double damage to play around with. They do have the combo of the Chronosphere and the Earth Splitter.
They're starting to split push now. You see Seb is TPing top. Getting it going up there as well. And all the lanes are pushing in onto the side of NIP.
They are. It's a lot of pressure. And NIP, can they really pull OG off this? The brain tracks in the middle lane taken out by OG. As Thompson, he's still confident to stand his ground. There's backup behind him. You know, Jerax, No-Tail, ILTW, sitting back waiting for the Chrono. Chrono does come out. It does match 3. It's pretty perfect, but the Earth Splitter angle is not. It'll only get Thompson. So No-Tail and ILTW can turn with the Fiend Script. Crimson Guard comes out for 33 in an attempt to keep Ace alive, but the damage from the summons is too much. Ace is dead for 50 seconds. They'll get the Elder Titan as well. 33 slept up. OG playing around with him outside of the base. Ace will buy back, but he's without the Chrono. And top lane, Thompson and Seb, they're taking the melee racks. The stun comes out onto 33. He's surrounded. Can he get his way back to safety? He's trying, but the stun control from Jerax is too much. He's slowed down. He's out of mana. Nuked down by Seb with the Nature's Wrath. That's a dead Bristleback. 33, he has got buyback.
They're just looking to end this game.
The top racks are gone. The mid racks are gone. OG continuing the pressure with this 27,000 gold lead. They know it's nearly impossible for NIP to turn this one around. As 29k, the lead just incredible at this point for OG.
And they still play it patient too. They maybe could have stayed for that, but no, they're all running out of mana, so they're just gonna back up and reset because they know how much of an advantage they just got. 2 full sets. And Jerax is being chased. We'll have the Carapace up in a second. No, he will not. He will get gazed.
They managed to get the Nyx Assassin, but OG, they're ready to punch back hard as Pugner dead. Seb's in with a TP with a BKB, 33 out of mana and controlled again by No-Tail. Ace trying his best to hide in the trees. They just don't have the ult or the damage to fight with at the moment on NIP. Ace has to time walk away. PPD's been found by Seb. The Sprout comes out, giving him vision. Nullifier onto PPD. PPD's dead. The Roots come out onto 33. 33 chopped down by Thompson, Saxa, and Ace. The last 2 left alive, but only for a little longer as Seb has the control with the Sprout. The Nullify, the silence. GG is called. And OG will take game 2, bringing this series to a game 3.
Yep.
And with a 33k advantage in 31 minutes, this time it was OG's turn to give NIP the slow and painful treatment. A different approach, a different style for OG. It wasn't about the Midases. They didn't need mass Midases to do what NIP did in game 1.
they just shifted the draft. They decided, let's go for more of a push-oriented style. If NIP wants to play greedy, we're not going to let them get that stance at all. All 3 lanes went great, too. I think they were ahead in all 3 of their lanes. And then from there, this lineup just comes together naturally. The itemization as well. Sure, they went for the Midas on Seb, but even if the game was kind of short, it paid off. It gives them a lot of attack speed anyway for all that damage. And yeah, they cruised it. Took the Throshes. As we said, they'd get full map control. They got all of the outer towers super early and didn't allow NIP to slow the pace down.
An interesting turn of events as OG just finding this draft that works so much better, as you say, for the way that they wanted to play. Well, there we have it. So more Dota 2 action is going to come. 1-1 at the moment between OG and NIP, as we'll send you back to the panel.
Thank you very much, Shody Pixel. We will, of course, come back to our commentary team for game number 3, which is exactly what we wanted. Best of 3 between these 2 tightly contested teams. And what do you know? A different style, but the same kind of choke, hold, slow death for one of the 2 teams in our second game. Let's find out what Nahaz, Capitalist, and Kyle made of that one. Alan?
Seb.
All on Seb?
I loved the way he played that game. I thought the itemization was perfect. I love the build. The drum into Midas, Medallion, Orchid, Nullifier, cap it all off with the BKB. It just felt like he had exactly what he needed to be active in these fights, move around the map at every phase of the game.
It's the little things that make the whole draft work. Yep. You had every core, drums Seb, Lycan goes HOD rush, Troll actually goes for the Vlads. This frees up Seb to go for this super heavy DPS build instead of what I feel like every time we see Core Profit, it's just brainlessly team fight items. Vlads, Crimson, Pipe, and we always talk about Profit just falling off. But if you play this style, you know, the old school Bulldog way to play Dotes, you hit real damn hard and you're actually a core.
Yeah, and you saw him in the last couple of fights, right? He was actually using the Sprout just for vision to keep hitting the back line. I mean, he picked off PPD in those last couple of fights single-handedly.
Cap, would you have liked to have seen NIP approach this differently?
You know, I think that it's funny, walking away from it, we went back into the green room and Kyle actually convinced me, like I wasn't super convinced, and then Kyle convinced me even more that NIP's lineup was looking really good. One of the things was the Bristleback combined with the Lich that you were talking about, and how the additive damage reduction came in. I thought that was going to look really good, especially against a lineup that had no magic damage whatsoever. But when this Furion builds this very strong damage build, not only is he able to provide an extra set of control, which they were kind of missing for the Void, but also be able to lay into the Bristleback, especially when that Nyx Assassin break comes into play. All of a sudden, that Bristleback doesn't look so tanky anymore.
I just seem to always forget that mechanic until I see it play out in front of me. Like, oh shit, yeah, that's like a built-in Silver Edge. That's not bad.
Yeah, definitely wasn't bad.
Yeah. And anyway, even if you leave that mechanic out, you also have to ask the question, the Bristleback pick through me, and I thought you gave a great argument for it, Kyle, as we were walking back, but you still have to ask the question, can they convert that into damage on the other side of the map? You had no towers at 22 minutes with a Pugna lineup.
It's not like OG, the way they built that first like 8-10 minutes of the game, they're so strong. You actually can't contest them. They're just mowing down buildings. And then Seb, you know, going back for the Midas, instant Yasha rush on the Troll. Like, they buy these super value items, like even the triple Wraith Band on Troll, I actually think is an underrated aspect of why this sort of draft works, because they're spending all their gold immediately for the first 12 to 14 minutes. They get all those towers with that advantage, but then they invest. Then they're able to sit on their lead. That game was, what, 18 to 15 at a point, but they were up like 20,000 gold. It's all itemization, it's all map control, it's all about how fast are you clearing out creeps to continue building that advantage.
Yeah, in a similar way, the other way around from the first game, but
exactly.
Different approaches. That was what was quite cool about it. It wasn't the same way, was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting stuff from both sides. IOTW now has 4 out of 4 at this event on Troll. Is there something to that, or is that just, you know, he's good, they're good, that's
Again,
fine?
it's just a great hero for this OG style. You know, ILTW is not Ana, okay? He's not gonna play your super late game hyper carry Spectre, but Troll is a decent compromise that allows you to both be active throughout the game and has that carry potential late.
Also, it's one of the only cores, I think it's really Ember and Troll, that OG can play on both players. They don't like to move tops and out of the mid lane.
That's a sick point.
So it's important, especially when they're playing last pick, that they have that versatility, knowing that this hero could be played on either of our players, it just opens up their pool to become far more diverse than the enemy side could possibly prepare for. And in addition, like we were talking about, we're watching him lane against Pugna, like, wow, Troll actually does this well. Yeah, he doesn't lose mid.
Yeah.
Troll just, it's a good hero.
Good stuff. Right, let's hear from Purge now and find out what he's got.
Something I've been paying attention to is how OG's drafts are and playstyle are kind of looking the same in all 3 games. I think the key to this one is Nature's Prophet. Hero got through for them, and what it allows them to do is not only pressure the lane, much like Darkseer was able to do, but do it in a more aggressive way. Darkseer is very passive. You have to stand next to heroes, they can retaliate. But Prophet, you summon trees, you right-click your opponent, and that can also lead to taking towers. Now, I want you to take a look at the map really quick here. This is the 7.5 minute mark. Take a look at where these observer wards are. We've got 2 on either side. There was one here previously. I might be placed later, but basically wards on mid and wards on safe lane. Now most players and teams don't mess around with the safe lane too much. It gets a little hard. They leave. They go take the enemy off lane. The other team takes their safe lane. And the whole purpose of this is that it kind of like halves the map down the middle. But OG's doing the complete opposite. They're defending their safe lane, which is completely atypical. You can see with wards. See, there's that second ward that I was talking about down there. So they end up getting a Pugna kill mid. After Thompson is effective, Seb rotates over. They're going to work on mid tower and kill that. In the meantime, they're running at bottom. They haven't been in their off lane for like 2 minutes at this point. OG doesn't care about their off lane. All they care about is their safe lane. And it's throwing teams off a little bit. In the meantime, Faces Void is last hitting up on the top lane. Elder Titan is running around. He prepares to teleport here for this fight, and it looks kind of bad for OG. No Tail ends up going down, but they secure a kill on the Bristleback, which is ultimately what they want to do. And much like last game, everybody is in the safe lane at the 8-minute mark. It's 2 minutes earlier than the previous match, but it's the same principles. The only difference is now they have 2 summon heroes. They've got a Nature's Prophet to dive and to push towers, and they've got a Lycan, and that's why they got such a huge advantage. And you know what happens right at the end of this clip? It might remind you of the last game. Oh look, they're under-leveled support. He teleported to the mid lane to go get solo experience. And then we saw another deja vu moment. Do you remember this? Faces Void getting ganked by, that's right, 5 OG heroes. Except the big difference this time is they have an easier ultimate that's going to score the kill. It's so reminiscent of the previous games, and OG clearly has a new style that they're trying to push. It's very early game focused, very 5-man and rotational, and it's pretty cool to watch.
Very cool to watch. Thanks, Burge.
Yeah, so to add on to that, I thought that was excellent. Love that segment, because that's just, it's so beautiful to just actually have the visual cues to go along with the ideas. But the pressure from OG is on the Bristleback. It's not just that it's in the safe lane. They're actually shutting down the hero on the enemy side that would be able to deal with the tempo. When they were pushing the tier 3 mid, he still didn't have a Crimson Guard completed on Fada. And Void, Ace is not in a position where you can be like, oh, I'm going to go no boots Midas. It's a much harder laning matchup against a Furion. You have to play a lot more defensively, thus you need to invest more in those early stat items. And in addition, you have so much more pressure from OG. You can't play this passive, I'll just chill, get a Chrono off here and there as Ace, because OG's threatening to go high ground by 12, like by 15 minutes. They might not have, but you have to at least respect that power to push. Exactly.
Yeah, all right. Thank you very much. Good night more from all 3 of our panel members as we work towards game number 3, which is where the players are right now. They're in a break room, so it's time for us to take a break, give you a break at home, because you're going to need to catch your breath as we head to game number 3 here at ESL One Katowice.
There's going to be the rock, as well as the big plasma field out from Weehaw. Good beat of bombs on top of that. The Primal Split has already gone down in the sight on Jin. He's already blown up 2 cores. That's going to be a buyback immediately from Tavo.